Well, now to Chicago's South Side, where there is a controversial new pilot program in place right now that gives police more autonomy, and it's left some residents and experts divided. So on Saturday, the 7th District Police District Council will hold a special meeting to talk about this.
The district encompasses Inglewood and is one of the most challenging districts for the Chicago Police Department. As part of a pilot program with the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, police in that district can now directly file gun possession charges without being subject to review by the state's attorney's office.
Now joining us now is one of the 3 members of the 7th District Police Council, Joseph Williams. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
So your police council it works to improve policing and public safety in your district, but you guys were not involved in the process of implementing this pilot program at all. How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel that district council members and community should have been a part of this process and should have had input as part of this pilot program. We didn't know anything about it. This was launched back in January, and we're finding out about it now. And I just feel that in order to do the work, we have to work together. There's no reason why we didn't know about this pilot program.
Certainly, there are a lot of people in Chicago who will say adamantly that there are too many guns on the streets, that they are a cause of so many problems in our city and so much of the violence that we have in our city. How do you personally feel about the program, and what have you heard from police officers, from maybe prosecutors, and also from your residents?
Yeah, absolutely. I think more than anything, I feel that we can't bypass the process without due process. We still have to follow the basic necessity of just making sure that we give people their rights. We can't just bypass that and leave all of that autonomy on the police to make that decision. I think far too long we've seen historically what has happened between Chicago police and community members, where we've seen the target in black communities where folks have been getting cases put on them and different things within that way that's not even true. Right now we look, our city is probably one of the nation's highest when we're talking about folks who have been false in prison, and we're still paying settlements right now to today because of those type of things. So there needs to be a third-party oversight for a pilot program like this.
And I know some of the people are arguing for this, that this would give officers more time on the streets and less going through the paperwork process. And so a lot of people have said we need more officers in our neighborhoods. So I know there's this 2 sides of it as well.
Yeah. I mean, and look, and I would absolutely agree, right? I think for me, this is not an anti-police thing, right? In the 7th District, we work closely with our officers and our commander. We do community events together. Our goal as district councilmen are police accountability and build relationship between police and community. But at the end of the day, we also have to make sure we're doing things the right way. We, again, have seen historically the effects of things when we do it and we skip past those processes. There are a lot of gaps here, and I just feel that if we're going to do it, we need to do it the correct way. Community should be involved with this. That's part of the reason of hosting a town hall, but again, we cannot leave that sole right onto the police to make that decision, because I believe if you do that, you're going to find a lot of flawed pieces in that system.
Let's talk about the town hall for people watching who may not be aware of this pilot program or the town hall. So it is on Saturday, correct?
It is. It's taking place this Saturday at 12 p.m. We're actually going to have the chief of policy from the state's attorney come in. We're going to have our commander from the 7th District there. We have invited our elected officials and have an alderman there. We're going to have some great organizations like Teamwork Inglewood and other orgs that are going to come out and present and give the history aspect to this and leading up into now to where we're at now. And again, and more than anything, Inglewood is not a test pilot program type of thing, right? We need real investment. Our community has been disinvested in for decades. We can't continue to target black and brown communities with these type of initiatives. We have to make sure that we're being intentional with our investment, that we're talking about the quality of education, the quality of health, and actually investing back into our communities. And I just feel like this is just another target to lock up black and brown people.
Certainly a lot of opinions, I'm sure, on this pilot program.
Absolutely.
Yours, of course, a very important one. Joseph, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to mention that we did reach out to Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling to come on our show and talk about this. CPD referred us to the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, which then just simply sent us a statement.
And I think we have that statement here as part of it as well, if we want to pull that up. Do we have that? All right, well, coming up in our next half hour, we're going to hear from a U Chicago law professor, Erica Zunkel, for more on this story from a legal perspective. Here is that statement from the state's attorney's office. They say in part that addressing Chicago's longstanding epidemic of gun violence will take innovative ideas and creative solutions, and this pilot program is part of that effort. So we'll dig more into this in just a bit.
And we are continuing to follow the pilot project in Chicago's 7th District Police District that allows officers to directly file some gun charges without getting the approval of the Cook County State's Attorney's Office.
Now, just a few minutes ago in the show, we spoke to one of the district's oversight council members who voiced some concerns about this. He's called a meeting on the subject for Saturday, sort of a town hall for people to be informed about this. The district, here is the map, encompasses Inglewood and parts of some surrounding neighborhoods. So in this, the state's attorney's office is allowing officers to file charges about gun possession directly without their input.
And for more on this from a legal perspective, we are joined by the University of Chicago's Erica Zunkel. She is a clinical professor of law and the director of the school's Juvenile Justice Clinic. Good morning. Thanks so much for being with us.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
So can you quickly explain for us how this process is different from what has typically happened regarding gun crimes to charges being filed? How is this different?
So this is different in a really fundamental way. It is the police taking over what has always been a prosecutorial role and is the prosecutorial role in virtually all of the other cases that the Cook County State's Attorney brings. So it's police serving both as law enforcement and prosecutors in making decisions about not only arresting, but who to charge in these gun possession cases.
And typically the prosecutors have been involved in the process, as you mentioned, of charging someone for a crime like this. Why is that process in place?
So that process is in place as a check on law enforcement. So it's ensuring that when law enforcement is arresting people, that prosecutors can decide, was there a bad stop here? Was the stop unconstitutional? And can we prove this case? And so it really is, the point of it is to avoid unconstitutional arrests and cases that are not going to hold up in court. And that is, of course, a really important component of creating trust between communities and law enforcement. So this is a very important part of the process that is now being done away with.
You know, there is no question there are a lot of gun crimes in our city, and the 7th District in particular has a high rate of gun crimes. One way advocates say that this pilot program could help the community is by keeping officers on the streets and not caught up in the paperwork process inside. Do you think the benefit of that might outweigh the potential risks of, you know, maybe not having the oversight that was in place prior?
I think the oversight is really, really important. What we see in the numbers is that about 10% of cases that involved gun crimes were declined by felony review last year in 2024 with the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. That's a significant number, and that's a significant number because it means that those are cases and individuals who then didn't have to be detained pretrial and go through this process of figuring out, oh, there's something wrong with this case. So ultimately, I think that this is going to open up potentially more issues with policing in the 7th District. And I don't think that any benefits are going to outweigh the harm to the system and trust.
All right, thank you so much, Professor, University of Chicago, Erica Zunkel. We appreciate your expertise on this topic and for you taking time to join us this morning.
Thank you so much.
And we want to mention again, if you live in the 7th Police District and want to weigh in on this program, you can go to the meeting at Ogden Park Fieldhouse. That is at 6500 South Racine, and that meeting is happening at noon on Saturday.